Donald Potter, here again. Beyond Basic Phonics, English Morphology 101. It's the last time you're going to hear that because this is the last lesson. It has been a long but an exciting journey, both in the production, writing of the book, the making of the videos, and then I've been teaching this in my classroom for several years now. I see the results. I see the tremendous benefit that my students receive, and I trust that those who work through the videos are going to receive the same benefits, and their reading is just going to skyrocket and improve. Let's jump right in the middle of this. We only have 5 of these, but they're very important. The first one, he had not been to the corn bin for a long time. This is an interesting word. B-E-E-E almost always says E. So this word should be pronounced, if it was a regular word, it should be pronounced bean. But bean, like a bean that you eat, is pronounced B-E-A-N. So you have an A there, you have an A instead of that E. And so this is an irregular, what we call an irregular word. On the other hand, I want you to notice that the B and the N are regular. So the only thing that's not regular is the EE in the middle, which is pronounced as a short I, which is why it sounds like bin. It's simply an irregular word. It's usually taught way down in kinder or first grade. Let me say, though, that I do not teach this by memorization. Some people call those sight words. Sight words has 2 meanings. And most people, when they think a sight word, think of a word that you just memorize by looking at it without regard to the letters or the spelling. In fact, some programs say don't pay attention to the spelling because they think that if they look at the letters instead of the whole word, they'll never be able to read it instant or quickly. And that is a very mistaken concept that science has in the last several years proven false, although it was believed for many years, and too many people still believe it. If you memorize this without phonics, what you're really doing is teaching the students to look at the shape of the word, okay? And they may think that it's another word, like well, I won't go into it, but there's other words that have the same shape. And so when they see the shape of a word, they just guess, well, it's this one, it's that one, it's another, I don't know for sure. I think the best way to teach this is to teach the B and the N and just simply tell them that the 2 E's are irregular in this word, and it's to be pronounced bin, and then practice it a lot in sentences, and they will get it. But this has been, now what's the difference? This has been a verb. Have you been good? Okay. He had not been to the corn bin. A bin here, this word is, when I grew up, we raised corn, and my dad had a shed, and he would bring the corn up to the shed, and with shovels we would throw it into the shed that we called the bin, the corn bin. And then in the winter, when we fed our cows, we would go and shuck the corn, they call it, taking the outside off, and we would feed our cows. We had dairy cows and our horse, and our pigs. But anyway, so a bin is some place where you put or store things. Perhaps a better, easier understood one for most people is if you go to a hardware store and you're going to buy some screws, you go over and you have a drawer you pull out and it's full of screws. That's called a bin. And maybe they still have it. Years ago, I used to go to the store and they would have candy in a bin, and they would have a little shovel-like thing, and you put it in a bag and get your candy. So that's the difference between bin and bin. And again, you have to know this, or your spelling's you can't just spell by your ears. You can't just spell with phonics. In fact, you can't just read with phonics. You have to look at all of these factors. The spelling is actually the main thing that you're looking at, the actual letters. This is why I tell all my students, I call it Mr. Potter's Secret of Reading. Look at all the letters the right way and no guessing. Pressing on, my dog's hair stood on end when he saw a long-legged hare jump over a fence. This is hair like the hair on your head, and this is hair like a long-legged, long-eared rabbit. And I'm sure you've heard the story of the tortoise and the hare. The hare was really fast, long-legged, and he had a race with the tortoise or turtle, and the hare thought he was so fast he could take a nap, but he slept too long. When he woke up, the tortoise had already won. Number 3, the married man and woman were to marry on Christmas Day. There you go. The first Mary, M-E-R-R-Y, means happy. And we often say Merry Christmas, or we can say Happy Christmas, same thing. This is Mary when two people get married and decide to live together and perhaps have children, raise a family. Number 4, patients in the hospital often need a lot of patience if their stay is long. So patient, P-A-T-I-E-N-T-S, is the person who is getting well. He's a patient in the hospital. He's sick. He's trying to get well. And patience means he's just going to have to put up with it. He's going to have to endure. To finish all of my Beyond Blend Phonics, I want to compliment you. I'm sure that it took a lot of patience. You have to say, I'm going to do this, set a goal, work at it every day, and then, of course, you have the encouragement of watching your reading and spelling improve. It took a lot of patience on my part to write this program and correct it, edit it, and make these videos. But it's been a joy, too, because of thinking how much this is going to benefit so many people. And so I am so thankful for the patience. And I think I got that from my father, who used to have me hoe very long rows of corn. And so I take what I learn on the farm and apply it to other things. Last one. Did you hear the tale about the tale of Babe the Blue Ox? The first one, T-A-L-E, is a story, like the tale of Peter Rabbit. And T-A-I-L is the tail, like the tail on your dog, your cat, or on Babe the Blue Ox. And so notice again, consonant or a vowel, consonant, vowel. Right there, that comes straight out of my phonovisual chart, my phonics chart. And the AI is just another way to spell the long, you may remember, long A sound with the macron over it. And so this finishes. I'm just going to sign off now. And I'm going to say, may God bless you in all of your studies, every endeavor in life. And I feel sure that what we've studied here together is going to greatly enrich your life and your ability to read, your ability to write, your ability to communicate, and your success. The best of all from Donald Potter. And let me remind you that maybe I should remind you of my little plaque. I don't know, be able to read that or not. It says, to reach the heart where lies the gold, my goal shall always be, with warm love and true kindness, for all the world to see. I wrote that during a difficult time of my life in 2014 when I was helping a bunch of first graders who were struggling to read. And this is my motto, and I would love for you to help me with my work and help me to spread the love, the warmth, the kindness that should be characterize all teaching and education. Thank you very much. Don Potter signing off.